Ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. In front of me here is a very small package, but inside of it is something interesting. This is supposed to be an iPhone 5C. This one is supposed to be running iOS 7. I think there's a chance this has iOS 8 on it, but if I remember correctly, this should have iOS 7. So let's get this thing opened up, see what kind of condition it's in, and find out if we have ourselves an iPhone 5C running iOS 7. Okay, here's our device. It is in the green color, which is a very bright lime green. It is a little bit slimy, which is pretty gross. So let me go ahead and get this thing cleaned up before we try to power it on. Okay, let's see how this thing cleaned up. The display looks to be in pretty nice condition. I am seeing a few scratches and there are some dust. Oh, right there you can see a pretty aggressive scratch. It almost looks like a crack. The rest of the display is okay. There is still some, I guess, fuzz or lint from my cleaning cloth. But around the edges, it's actually pretty dirty there, between the device and the SIM card tray. Top looks pretty good, maybe a tiny dent right there. On this side, maybe a few more little scuff marks. Volume buttons look good. Rocker switch looks good. And on the bottom, charging port looks good. You can see a little dent there and a little dent there. On the back, it's pretty clean. There are a few scratches and scuffs. This is the first time I've had a green iPhone 5C. Hopefully this one is running iOS 7. Let's go ahead and try to power it on and see if it's charged. It's not. We're going to go ahead and connect that to power and give it a few minutes to charge. Here's the little power setup. I love these power banks. They are fantastic. You can charge them via solar panel. They work really well. So there's our 5C plugged in, and we have our charging logo, and we can see just how much power this is drawing. So between 4 and 5 watts. So we'll let that sit for a minute. This shouldn't take too long. Once it powers on, we'll check out our device and see which version of iOS it's running. All right, the 5C has finally powered on, and we are met with the slide to unlock lock screen. So we'll go ahead and do that. And this is an interesting layout. Oh, we've got games on here. Okay, I was not expecting that. Okay, Jewish folder, interesting. But you can see we've got the passbook icon with 3 rows there instead of 4. That indicates iOS 7. And real quick, just for fun, let's see what the slide to power off is. And it is the newer iOS 7 style, so we don't have an early version of iOS 7. Let's head into settings, general, and about. And we have 7.1.2. This is a 16 gigabyte model, and they named it Green iPhone. There we go. It's got some music, it's got a video, and we have 17 applications. So that is actually pretty cool. And let's see if any of those games work. Before I do that, I just want to make sure there's no iCloud account, because it seems like there probably is. And there is an iCloud account, so we're going to have to see what we can do about that. But for now, we've got some games. I don't really know. Let's check out Candy Crush. I've played this a little bit. Let's see what level this person was on. All right, and it did load, so let's see. Okay, only 16,000 days left for this. So they're on level 241. Let's see how that level looks here on iOS 7 on our iPhone 5C. Let me go ahead and turn up the brightness there. We go. Let's get some sound on here. Oh, they probably turned it off in the app settings. There you go. I'm not going to bore you guys with a game of Candy Crush, but it is running here on our iPhone 5C. So this is pretty cool. I haven't played this in a long time. If I remember, there's a decent bit of luck involved with Candy Crush. And I found that to be quite frustrating because I don't like luck. I like skill, and this is not a skill game. And I'm not going to bore you guys with the other games here, but let's see if we have any music. And we do. I think iOS 7, maybe iOS 8 was the last version to get cover flow. Of course, Apple changed it quite a bit. But it actually looks pretty nice, and it's really smooth here on our iPhone 5C. Not a whole bunch of albums, but if you did, you could kind of just like scroll infinitely through here If you remember on iOS 6 and any version before that, each album had their own little, like, I don't know what to call it, but you could swipe between them. But this is actually much quicker, and I kind of like this better. I wish Apple would bring back a cover flow, at least for Apple Music. I think that would look pretty nice as well. So the 5C launched alongside the iPhone 5S in 2013. The 5C retained the same internals as the iPhone 5, but it changed the exterior. We got this new plastic finish along with, I think, 5 colors. We got blue, white, red or pink, yellow, green, and I think that's it. I wish they'd made a black one. I think that would have looked really nice, but this is reminiscent of the iPhone 3G and the 3GS with that plastic back. You can see it scratches pretty easily, but these phones are actually very durable. I would consider the 5C to be more durable than the 5 and the 5S thanks to its robust design. It looks really nice. The 5C launched on iOS 7 and it will get updates through iOS 8, 9, and 10. So just 3 years of updates compared to 5 years on the iPhone 5S. And this is the last 32-bit iPhone that Apple sold. Obviously, the 5S has that 64-bit A7 chip. This has a 32-bit dual-core A6 chip, which is plenty fast. And even on iOS 10, this device is not very slow. You look at some older iPhones like the 4 and 4S, those things are pretty slow on their last versions of iOS. But the iPhone 5C runs really well. So does the iPhone 5 and the 5S for that matter. So these devices are pretty cool, and I'm going to go ahead and reset the home screen layout because I don't like what they did there. So we'll go into settings, general reset, and we're going to reset that home screen layout, and it should be back to stock just like that. Pretty cool. One last thing, we're going to head into settings and we're going to change that wallpaper because, as you guys know, I love some iOS 7 wallpapers. I think the stock ones are some of the best Apple has ever done. So we've got a green iPhone. What if we make a green wallpaper? I don't know if I like this one. Let's see how this looks. And that's actually not too bad. The green complements the iPhone. There's actually, so we got the black bezel and obviously the green sides, and this wallpaper is mostly green, but it does have a few touches of black, and I didn't change the lock screen. So let me do that. So there we go. We get a really nice view of that wallpaper. Actually, that looks really nice. I don't think I've picked this one before in any of my videos, but looks really clean here on our iPhone 5C. So there you have it. That's been a quick look at a green iPhone 5C running iOS 7 here in 2024. Gorgeous device, and this is truly a classic piece of Apple history. So thank you so much for watching, and as always, I look forward to seeing you in another one of my videos.